Hi everybody and welcome back. So today we're going to be taking a look at the OCCULA RDA. This is actually a collaboration between Augvape and Twisted Messes, and really nice collaboration. It's a 24mm RDA. It's got a very unique clamp style deck. And then it comes with this nice little, look at that gold little trim on the drip tip. Really nice. It's got these snake bite type of airflow holes, so it's really got massive airflow. Nice, really nice build deck, really kind of easy to build on, but I'm going to show you a couple quirks in it. But yeah, let's go ahead and go down. We'll take a look at it, we'll build on it, and then we'll come back up and talk about it. So that's the OCCULA RDA. So here we are with the OCCULA RDA. This is a collaboration between Augvape and Twisted Messes, and this is the box that it comes in. It says Twisted Messes on this side, Twisted Messes here, Augvape here and here, and then on the back it's going to tell you that this is a collaboration between Twisted Messes and Augvape to create a rebuildable masterpiece with innovative internal post clamp design. And then there's your scratch off authenticity, and you open up the box, and inside the box you're actually going to get the RDA cap, you're going to get the RDA base, and then you're going to get a user manual. In addition to that, you're actually going to be getting a squonk pin, some O-rings, and an Allen key. So let's go ahead and take out the deck and the top cap. Now be careful when you're taking out the deck for the first time. I actually did have the bottom O-ring was stuck in the bottom, so you do want to make sure that you take care of that. Just check for it, make sure that you have 2 O-rings on the bottom when you take it out. This is the manual, really small. It's basically just going to give you your specifications. It's 24mm in diameter, 5mm juice flow. It does give you a little note: to get the most flavor, please raise your coil to direct to air holes. So let's go ahead and go over the top cap first. I know this is black, so it's going to be kind of hard to see, but we're going to try it anyway. First of all, you do have an 810 drip tip. This is goon size, so any of your aftermarket or goon style drip tips will work. It is a 10mm diameter, and this has like a gold metal rim in it. On the stainless steel, this is actually stainless steel. You do have the O-ring on the inside, and then this is a 2-piece section. So here is your actual airflow configuration, and then of course you've got this knurling on top, which is really nice and very easy to grip. I do like that. If you look at this airflow, it's actually made for dual or single coil, which I really like that they provide that option, because some people do like single coils and some people like dual coils, but they like the RDA. So that's just a preference, and I think that this is going to cater to both, so I really like that. Whatever you do to one side will happen to the other, and again, you can go ahead and have it fully open like this, or you can make it for a single coil, which you're blocking off one side and you're going to leave open the other. As soon as I get that, there we go. All right, so blocked off here, open up on this side, then you can close down this one side and it's going to open up this side. So that way you can actually close down your dual coil airflow as well. It does have this track inside of it, if you notice, because this RDA does have some notches on both sides, right here and right here, and then it's got this little track where they fit in. The great thing about the track system is the fact that you can actually position your airflow always to be direct on your coil. So that is definitely a plus, because without that it's stagnant, and if you're closing down your airflow, it can move your airflow to the side of the coils rather than being directly on it. So having that track system on both sides, I think, is great. And of course it does have a stop. And then, so that's the airflow. On one side, you're going to have the OCCULA symbol. On the other side, you're going to have nothing. And if you notice, it's got this like little bevel in it. It's sort of like a really sleek, sexy design, very shapely, but it's barely there. So you barely notice it, but it is there. So I love that. And then we go on to the deck. This is a 24mm in diameter RDA. It does say Augvape here. You've got Twisted Messes right here. And then it's going to have your serial number, and then of course your warning. It does have a protruding 510 pin. It does protrude a little bit with the peak insulation around it. On this side, you've got your positive post. On this side, you've got your negative post. And on the build deck itself, you actually have that OCCULA logo again. I think that is sexy. I don't know about you, but it's just bringing some sexiness to it. I like how they actually incorporated the logo in the bottom of the deck, where it's like there, but it's not there, but it's there, and it really looks sexy, in my opinion. The juice well is actually a 5mm juice well. And you can literally unscrew these big ass screws with your fingers. You don't even need a screwdriver. You need it to tighten it down, but you don't really need. And the best part about this is, as you saw that I was unscrewing it, the clamp actually raises. So the clamp raises and lowers directly by the screw. You don't need any spring-loaded action. You don't need to worry about it being loose when you're trying to put your leads in. It's got that system, which I think is very innovative. I actually love that idea. I hate fighting clamps to get my coil legs in. I don't know about you, but I just hate doing that. That is why I'm not a clamp style girl, because the fact that usually it's not spring loaded or it doesn't have a system like this. So you're literally fighting to put your legs in. So I do like that. I also love that it's opened on the bottom. This part right here is open. So any juice that you put in is going to share both sides. That to me is key. I love it when it shares the build deck, because when it's solid, you usually have either too much liquid on this side or too much liquid on that side. So I do love that it's open. Now, if you do have your squonk pin in here, it's going to be raised up just a tiny bit, and then your e-liquid would be coming out of that. I'm actually not going to be squonking with it today, so we're going to actually put it in drip mode. So I'm going to put this on a mod, and we're going to do a build. So for today's build, I'm actually going to be using some alien coils. These are from Coil Clout. They're made of nichrome 80. If you're interested, coilclout.com. Use the code Wendy. You'll get 10% off. So these are the coils that we're going to be using. And this is what they look like. Absolutely beautiful. Love these. My favorite coils. All right. So what I'm going to do is, being that it is a clamp style, just to make it a little bit easier, I'm actually going to pre-cut my leads. So to determine the size that you're going to be using on your coiling jig or the coiling tool, what you're going to do is you're going to measure. It's got two different sides. It's got this side and this side. This side is actually for postless decks, and then this side is for post decks. And what you do is you measure it to the biggest thickness of this deck. If you notice, it's thicker here than it is right here. It kind of tapers down just a tiny bit of a hair. I'm actually going to go ahead and measure it here. Right here, it's too small. Right here, it fits really, really good. And then 6.5, I actually think I like the 6.5 because this one is very, very snug, but I don't want it snug and a bug. I want the 6.5. So we're going to be using the 6.5 from the coily tool. So I'm just going to take my coil, find the 6.5. I'm telling you, this tool right here is like heaven. It makes things so much easier. And this you can also get from coilclout.com as well. Just start clipping. There we go. And clip that one. There we go. 6.5 right there. And then go ahead and clip this one. And clip this one. Okay, so we've got our coils right there. Now, being that this is a shared clamp style, I'm going to tell you right now that the easiest way to do this, because I've already done this a couple times, and the easiest way is to actually find either 2 screwdrivers or 2 coiling jigs or something to hold your coils in place, because it's going to make it easier to keep them right in the right direction that you need them in, because of the fact that they are shared. And these holes are actually massive, like super massive, if you haven't noticed. So I'm just going to close this down just a little bit. There we go. And then we'll go ahead and put in our first coil. Just put it right in there like that. And I'm just going to hold it with my coiling jig like that. And then put in the other one. Yes, this is where you need 2 hands and no camera hands. Okay, so put in the other one. See how good I can do this. I'm going to come over with this one and go ahead and slide this one in. I know you guys are waiting for me to fail, but it's not going to happen. So there we go. We've got those both in there. I want to make sure that it's right in the right angle. There we go. Right there. Perfect. So let's go ahead and hold that. There we go. Move that one out just a little bit. There we go. Okay, tighten that one down and then come over here and tighten this one down. Perfecto mundo. And then we'll go ahead and line them up in just a second. Make sure those are nice and tight. So I'm just going to go ahead and move this out just a hair right there and a little bit more in. I like mine centered. I'm very OCD when it comes to that. Make sure that this is coming out there. You see the distance is good. I'm just going to raise these up because the airflow is a little bit higher on here. So you do want to raise up your coils to go with the airflow, because if not, then if the airflow can't get under them, you're not going to get as good a flavor. So I'm just going to go ahead and lift this one up just like that. And then lift this one up just like that. Okay, let's take a look now. Still looks like it needs to be up just a little bit more. Okay, good, just a little bit more. Oops, out of view. This one just a little bit more out. So we definitely don't want it to be touching the clamp post. There we go. All right, and I definitely want to make sure that these are tightened down again, because being that whenever you're moving your coils around, sometimes your screws can loosen up, so I always double check them. And right now it looks absolutely perfect. Let's check it against my airflow, and yep, absolutely perfect. So let's go ahead and start heating up these coils. Okay. Start pulsing our coils, absolutely beautiful. Okay, starting to glow right there on this side. Kind of start pinching. Start pinching these. And just pulse, lightly pulse. And we're gonna get there. Go. Go ahead and do this side. Literally almost there. Some hot spots there. Just gonna pull this out just a little bit. Sometimes that gets the hot spots out just a little bit better. There we go. This one's got a lot of hot spots in it too. There we go. Okay, do this side a little bit more. Oops, I hope if I had you in focus, huh? And go ahead and do this one a little bit more. This one a little bit more. Some hot spots coming through. Okay, and we got them glowing really, really nice. So let me let this cool down and then we'll wick her right up. Today's cotton, I'm going to be using this Firebolt cotton. I've actually really started gravitating towards this cotton, especially being that the strips are like so long. I can use one strip for 2 coils usually. So let's go ahead and try and see if we can do that with this one. So putting that through there, pull it through. There we go. I'm going to cut this one right here. And then let's put it through the other side and see if we can get enough for this side. If not, then I gotta get another strip. Ha, perfect. Yay, see? Fits absolutely perfect. Cut this end off and then we'll just go ahead and fluff up those ends. So all I do for that is just fluff it, make it fluffy, because this is already like pre-thinned out. So it fits just perfectly in my RDAs. I'm actually just loving this cotton. It's like really minimal work. It really is. You always want to make sure that your airflow is open from underneath. And I'll go ahead and do this side, just fluff it up a little bit. Put that in there like that. Being that the coils are raised up, it does make it a lot easier to actually get in there. And I'm just going to cut this little end off because that is the hard end part. There we go. Makes it a little bit more fluffy. Put that in there. Again, we want to go ahead and separate it in the middle for the airflow. There we go. That's how it looks. Absolutely perfect. So yeah, let's go ahead and start wetting this up. So for today's e-liquid, I'm actually going to be using this 3.14 key lime pie e-liquid from North Shore Vapor. Oh my God, literally the best key lime pie flavor. If you like key lime pies, you would love this. I'm literally addicted to this stuff. I put it in everything that I have, pretty much. So yeah, I've been really on a key lime pie kick. So what you're gonna do is just put some e-liquid on your coils and then you're gonna pulse, and e-liquid on the coils, and you're gonna pulse. The reason for this is so that you can wet the cotton from within that coil, because we can directly wet the ones on the outside of the coil, but we can't do the ones that are inside the coil. And that sometimes can actually provide some dry hits, or you know, you need some ramp up time for your cotton and things like that. So I do like to do that on every single thing that I actually wick up, no matter what it is. And I've never had a dry hit, and I've never had any type of a cotton flavor ever with anything that I've used. There we go. So it looks like we're ready. And what you can also do is blow up down the middle as well, because that's a pretty damn big juice well. So I'm just gonna make sure that that's in there. Separate that again. Separate that again. Now that's nice and juicy. Let's go ahead and put on our top cap. Again, remember that we do have a track system here and a locking notch. So I'm just going to make sure that that is in place. Put that over like this. Put that down. Now, one thing you do want to do is make sure that your O-rings are nice and lubed up, because they are kind of hard when you first get them. But you do that, and then it does lock in place. Have my airflows all the way open, hitting the coils, and there you go. Yep, you can see the cotton's right there, so the coils are right over it. Absolutely beautiful. So that is the OCCULA RDA. Let's go ahead and go on top and have a vape. Okay, so here we are back on top with the OCCULA RDA, and before anything, I'm going to go ahead and have vape and show you what it can do. It can do that. I love massive airflow. I am an airflow hog. Love, love, love massive airflow. If you guys are into clouds, you guys are into airflow, this is definitely an RDA for you. I love massive airflow. I just love it. I love producing a lot of clouds. This does it. In addition to that, as long as you have put your coils in the right positioning, you're going to get massive flavor to go along with your massive clouds. So that to me is definitely a pro. So right away, we're going to pros. Airflow, 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 #1 pro. #2 pro is going to be the fact that it has great flavor. Again, you need to raise up your coils so that they're right at the top of that airflow, so that the airflow can go underneath them, and you're going to get really, really good flavor, I promise you. I'm getting about a 9 for flavor, to be honest with you. I know this e-liquid and this flavor is just to die for. It really is. Now, it is a 24 millimeter RDA. It does go up to about 28 millimeters, including the drip tip, so it's still like a little shorty. I like the size of it. It's really small, but it's got that feeling of like a 28 millimeter RDA, if you know what I mean. It's got that feeling. It feels like it's something massive. Like I could literally compare this my Elite V2, like that type of feel to it. It feels huge. So I really like that about it. The build deck, love, love, love it. I love with those clamps, when you unscrew them and the clamps actually raise on their own, I think that is absolutely ingenious. You don't need spring loaded. You don't need to go and force your leads in to lift them up or anything. It actually does it for you. That leads me to the next pro, which is those screws. Those screws are nice and massive. You have no worries about, no matter what size coils you're using, what type of exotic coils that you're using, it's going to hold, and it's going to hold with no problem at all. So I do like that. The fact that you can do single or dual coil is definitely a huge pro for me. That is like, I haven't seen an RDA that was made for both single and dual in a very, very long time. So I'm really, really very happy with that. Very well machined. Everything is spotless. I haven't had any issues with it. I think that it's very, very well machined. I love the logos that are simple. They're very, very simple. The OCCULA logo is so simple. You've got the one logo here and you've got it on the build deck. And it's like in that way that it's on there, but it's like not on there. Like you don't know it's there, but it's there. So the fact that you can line it up, if you close down your airflow, you can actually line up your airflow with the coils, even though you've reduced it. I love that. Having that track system where you can literally move the barrel to the direction of where your coils is key, especially when people want to close down the airflow. And on this, the majority of you will be closing down the airflow because it is massive. It's a massive airflow. It's like really, 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 really big airflow. I personally love big airflow, but if you don't, then you can always cut it down. If you cut it down, you can reposition it. So I think that that's great. Absolutely no problem. I have to have another vape. This RDA literally excites me. It just gives me everything that I'm looking for. It is easy to build on, but it's easier if you have the little rods or 2 screwdrivers or something to hold your coils in place if you're pre-cutting your leads. If you're not pre-cutting your leads, it's not as hard, but then you do have to worry about cutting your leads with 2 coils in there. So to me, it's a lot easier to pre-cut your leads and then just put 2 rods or 2 screwdrivers or whatever you have on hand to actually hold your coils in place and then screw them down. I think that that's great. Flavor on this, again, to me, it's a 9 out of 10. Personally, I really, really love the airflow and the flavor. It's just... yum, yum, yum all day long. Very, very good. Very, very well produced. I love everything about this. There's only a couple subjective cons that I have. Number one is going to be that there is no extra drip tip. A lot of these RDAs nowadays are coming with an extra drip tip, whether it be like another resin drip tip or a plain drip tip that doesn't have the metal ring on it, you know, something like that, or even a 510 drip tip adapter. It doesn't have that. So that I do have to throw that in there as a subjective con. Another subjective con is going to be massive airflow. And the reason why I say that is because for me, it's a pro, but for some of you, it would actually be a con because it is a lot of airflow. It really is. You gotta, it's, to be honest with you, this would be perfect for like a cloud chucker or a cloud comp person, somebody who likes competition clouds, something like that. It's definitely, you know, in their top list for this type of airflow. But for the regular everyday RDA user, maybe it'll be too much. So I did want to just mention that in the subjective cons for you guys. Not for me. For me, it's not a con at all because I love massive airflow. Another thing is, like I mentioned, it can be tricky with the building of the coils. Because of the fact that it does have the shared posts, which you know I'm usually not a fan of shared posts. I really don't usually like them, but I love this build deck. So I would actually deal with it. It wouldn't be a problem for me. It can be a little tricky because the fact that you do have to hold the coils in place in order to screw them down and get them all, you know, arranged and everything. Other than that, I don't see any cons to this. I think that it's absolutely perfect. For me, this would definitely not be a squonking RDA. And that's just my opinion. That's my vaping styles. I would not use this as a squonking RDA. It can be used. I have tried it out to make sure that it's squonkable and how it works as a squonker, and it's fine. It's just that this to me is more of a competition type of dripper rather than a squonker, in my opinion. And again, this is just my opinion. A lot of people might be against it. I've had people ask me, why do you say that? Because it's my opinion. So I actually don't think that it would be good as a squonker as it is as a dripper, in my opinion. But yeah, so that's pretty much it for my review. I'm absolutely in love with this RDA. I love chucking clouds, and this is just right there up my alley. It really is. So this was sent to me by Augvape. It does not change my opinion about it at all. I will always tell you exactly how I feel, and this one is one that is for me. It's like they literally made this RDA for me. And for those of you that know me and know how I am, you know that what I'm saying is true. This was made for me. So yeah, so that's it for my review. And if you like the review, please give it a thumbs up. If you're not already subscribed, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to put on the bell notification. Sometimes YouTube does take it off, so you always want to double check that it is checked. But yeah, so leave me a comment down below. I want to know about your feelings. I want to know how you feel about this. Would this be something for you? Are you more of a massive airflow type of junkie like me, or do you like it more restrictive? Let me know in the comments below, and I will see you in my next one.